The Detroit Lions, they're really making a name for themselves lately, and it's not just because of how they're playing on the field. Their Week 14 win against the Green Bay Packers, it was a nail-biter, but the real story is how many people tuned in to watch. That Thursday Night Football game on Amazon Prime Video, it pulled in a massive 17.29 million viewers, which set a new record for the most watched regular season NFL game ever streamed. That's even more than the Giants and Cowboys game earlier this season. And it shows how quickly streaming is becoming the go-to way to watch live sports. And the Lions are right there leading the way they're playing under Coach Campbell. Aggressive and exciting. It's bringing in a whole new crowd of fans, people who are ditching cable and going all in on streaming. Think about it. You can watch the game anywhere you want, on any device. It's a total game changer for the NFL and teams like the Lions. But the Lions' success isn't just about streaming. It's about a comeback. A return to that tough, hard-nosed style of football, the kind that Detroit fans have been missing for years. This team, they're playing with a passion that's contagious, and it's showing in the win column and a growing fan base. That win over the Packers, it was a perfect example of their new attitude. Coach Campbell's gutsy call to go for it on 4th down in the final minutes. Jake Bates nailing that game-winning field goal. It all points to a team that's not afraid to take risks and battle for every inch. And the fans are loving it. Ford Field is packed. People are tuning in on Amazon Prime. And they're making the Lions one of the hottest topics in the league. Now, the Lions might be grabbing the headlines right now, but the upcoming Christmas Day doubleheader on Netflix, it's shaping up to be another huge streaming event. 2 major matchups. The Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Houston Texans. This is the first time the NFL is going to be on Netflix. And you can feel the excitement building. With it being a holiday and these teams being so popular, there's a real chance this doubleheader could smash the Lions-Packers viewership record. It's a big move for both the NFL and Netflix. A sign they're all in on streaming. And it's not just about the NFL. Netflix has success streaming the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. That fight drew over 60 million viewers, which proves they can handle big events and have serious ambitions in the live sports world. This shift towards streaming, it brings up some interesting questions about the future of sports broadcasting. Will streaming eventually take over completely from traditional TV? What will that mean for advertising revenue and broadcasting rights? How will it change the way we experience sports? These are all things we'll be digging into as we explore the impact of this streaming revolution. But one thing's for sure, the way we watch sports is changing, and the NFL is leading the way. So get ready, because the future of sports broadcasting is streaming, and it's already happening. This move to streaming is not just about convenience. It's about big money, too. The NFL's deals with Amazon and Netflix, we're talking billions of dollars. All that cash, it's changing the whole league. They can invest in new technology, reach fans all over the world, and make the whole fan experience even better. But it does make you wonder about the future of those old-school broadcasters. As more and more people cut the cord and go all in on streaming, what happens to networks like ESPN and CBS? Do they have to switch over to streaming, too? Or can they find a way to stay relevant in this new world? It's pretty fascinating to watch this all unfold, and the impact is going to be huge. Now let's get technical for a minute. Because streaming live sports to millions of people at the same time, that's a tough job. Remember those server problems Netflix had during the Paul Tyson fight? That's what can happen when you have so many people trying to watch at once. Netflix, they don't want that to happen again during the Christmas Day doubleheader. So they've been putting a lot of work into their infrastructure. Upgrading servers, making their streaming better, working hand-in-hand with the NFL, all to make sure fans have a smooth viewing experience. They're even trying out new things like edge computing, which basically brings the content closer to the viewers. That means less lag and better quality. A complicated field, and it's always changing. But the goal is simple. Give the fans a great streaming experience that's as good as or even better than what they're used to on TV. Now let's talk about some of the other teams that are making a splash this season. We've talked about the Lions and their comeback story. But there are other teams that are exceeding expectations and changing the game, like the Minnesota Vikings. They're looking like real contenders for the Super Bowl. Their offense is firing on all cylinders thanks to Kirk Cousins, and their defense is turning out to be much tougher than anyone thought. That win they had against the Atlanta Falcons, that was a statement, a real sign that they're a team to be taken seriously, and their streaming numbers are showing it. Their games are consistently among the most watched on streaming platforms. It's a testament to their growing fan base and their exciting style of play. And then you have the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team known for its grit and determination. They had a bit of a slow start, but they've found their rhythm now, and they're a force to be reckoned with. Their defense is as strong as ever, with T.J. Watt leading the way. And their offense is starting to click under Kenny Pickett. That win they had against the Cincinnati Bengals, a team that's had their number in recent years. That was a statement, a sign that they're not going away quietly. And the Steelers' streaming numbers are climbing too, as fans are tuning in to see if this historic franchise can make another deep playoff run. And we can't leave out the Miami Dolphins, a team that's lighting up the scoreboard with their high-powered offense. Their quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, he shut down the doubters with his accuracy and his ability to make plays on the run, and that connection he has with Tyreek Hill. It's one of the most explosive in the league. Their win against the New York Jets, a game that went into overtime, it showed how resilient they are, how they can pull out those close wins. And the Dolphins' streaming numbers are through the roof. Fans are tuning in to watch that dynamic duo put on a show. These are just a few of the teams that are making this NFL season one of the most unpredictable and exciting in recent memory. The playoff picture is wide open. We can expect lots of surprises in the weeks ahead. The competition is intense, the stakes are high, and the drama is unfolding right before our eyes. As we get closer to the playoffs, one thing is becoming really clear. The NFL is at a turning point. The way we watch and experience the game is changing, and streaming is leading the charge. Those record-breaking numbers for the Lions-Packers game, all the buzz around the Christmas Day doubleheader on Netflix. They're proof that the NFL is embracing the digital age and keeping up with how fans want to watch. But this shift to streaming, it's not without its bumps in the road. These streaming platforms, they got to make sure they can handle huge numbers of viewers during those big games without any glitches. They need to deliver that smooth, high-quality experience. That's as good as or even better than traditional TV. And they've got to figure out how to make money from it all, because those streaming rights cost a fortune. The NFL has its own challenges too. They have to keep those streaming deals going. While still honoring their agreements with the traditional broadcasters, they need to find that sweet spot where they can make the most money without upsetting their old partners. It's a tricky situation. But so far, the NFL seems to be handling it pretty well. They're teaming up with those big streaming players like Amazon and Netflix. But they're not burning bridges with the traditional broadcasters either. It's a smart strategy. It lets them reach a huge audience and maximize their revenue. As streaming keeps growing, the NFL is in a great position to stay ahead of the curve. They're always trying new things and new technology, looking for ways to keep fans engaged and make the whole viewing experience better. Interactive features, personalized recommendations, behind-the-scenes content, virtual reality. The NFL is pushing the limits of what's possible in sports broadcasting. So what does the future hold for the NFL in this new era of streaming? It's hard to say for sure, but one thing's for certain, the NFL isn't afraid of innovation. They're not afraid to adapt to change. And as streaming takes over, the NFL is ready to ride that wave and keep their spot as the most popular sports league in the world. If you're a football fan, buckle up. Things are about to get really interesting. The game is evolving, the technology is changing, and the possibilities are endless. The future of the NFL is streaming, and it's already arrived.